Well, my perspective of the homeless veterans is that a lot of our veterans don't get the recognition that they need. In fact, if they say they are veterans, a lot of people don't believe the fact that they are veterans because of the way they look, because they're down and out. Because I know how that is to be down and out. Because I reached rock bottom in my lifetime, and I'd have people turn around, come to call me down, call me a bum and everything, and I turn around and I'd look at them and say, you know what, I'm a First Nations veteran, and you know what, I did time for my country so that you and your family could sleep safely in your beds at night and wake up in the morning to a free world. And that, but yet you can't give me the respect that I need, because I say, like, even though I'm down and out, I want an extra change so I can get a coffee or something to eat, and this is how we get treated. And then you say that I'm not a vet. I said, like, there's a lot of things like that going on with all our vets.
We don't know what to do. We don't know where to go. We don't know where to, like, most people here don't, like, they give up.
You've seen young as 18 being homeless on the street.
Oh, no, that I see younger than that where I was living.
Oh my man.
They're younger age than that is living on the street.
And they just go, like, do all kinds of criminal activities,
These children here, they're so young you wouldn't believe, and they're homeless.
There's a lot of that happening. There's so many people in jail, like ending up in jail, especially ever since the meth came out.
Because they're young, they're smart, but the drugs got them here,
Yeah, so do you see a lot of meth on the street now
Yes,
versus
I do.
before?
Yeah.
Because they do a lot of drugs in this area here.
Okay.
I thought crack was bad, but meth is really bad.
Meth is really
These
bad.
people need help.
They need help.
Yeah.
They got nowhere to go,
Okay.
because the drugs, their family would kick them out, and they're lost.
This stuff is really, I've seen it all. I've seen a lot of stuff happening, and it's not good. People are dying, like, left and right every day.
Oh my.
Yeah, even kids are doing that too.
This is what it is. This is not a shanty town. This is Winnipeg, Manitoba. Today we're talking about homelessness.
I've been on the streets. I've been homeless.
Okay.
I've eaten out of garbage bins. I've slept underneath bridges. I've just been really scared.
I want to see people have a place where they can feel safe. Now, till now, the shelters, places like that, are helping folks.
Yes.
But it's a short-term thing. It's you reach about this level, and then it's not going any further. You're not getting folks to get off the street permanently. We need to go from here, and we need to go to here.
What would you think the city of Winnipeg needs to do or can do to improve this situation? We have to look at ways and means to do a little bit more than we're doing now. We can do a lot more, but I think if we start by just finding the solution, we have the information already. We have done the studies, we have done the census, we have done all the things that we need to do to inform us. If you had to talk to the federal minister now, what would you say to them?
I would say nobody needs to live like this, because what wrong did I do? I didn't do nothing wrong, just being sick and going to the hospital.
Okay.
That's the only wrong thing I did, to be sick. And my whole life has been destroyed. Everything I worked for is in that house, and I lost it all.
Support them a little bit more. Give them the help that they need.
And we have met a few that have been on the street. We have discussion with them, and we have met a few even who have gone and spent some time doing things they're not supposed to be doing, but they're not proud of it. But at the same time, they recognize that the needs.
I don't know why. I don't know why it's happening. Why government is not helping us.
people here.
The people here.
So if you had to speak to the minister, Veterans Affairs, or just any government federal minister, what would you say to them this morning if you had a chance to talk to them, about what's happening, what would you say to them?
I would say ask them if like why aren't we getting help? Like that's why a lot of us are like there's a lot of vandalism. There's a lot of a lot of criminal stuff happening, and there's also like a lot of people are getting hurt. People are getting killed.
So we end up with buildings like this one and others that are empty while people are homeless.
The buildings that are downtown,
Yes.
why couldn't they turn some of them into like shelters?
It costs the taxpayers more money to have these folks on the street that are homeless and the veterans on the street.
Even our welfare doesn't really help us. My band doesn't help me. Right? I asked for help so many times.
And which band are you from?
Nelson House.
We end up spending more than if we were to house them and give them an opportunity to move from their current state to a state where they're comfortable with.
Hopefully in the future that us homeless people, that we can get a safer place to live.
Solution number one would be to make sure the city takes stock of all derelict homes.
Like, and so we don't have to live like this.
Okay.
And for the workers to help us out too.
Yeah. Solution one is to know how many derelict homes we have in the city that's boarded up, as well as derelict buildings that are empty. This one is empty. The next question is, instead of us building a brand new 50-foot tower downtown Winnipeg, let us revitalize the community. Let us redevelop the community by investing some of that money, because it will take a fraction of that 40 or 50 or 60 million dollars that the city is going to put out to convert this building, for example, into shelter, into homes.
Mm-hmm.
And
but weren't we talking about if we take a building like this, make it into like little apartments kind of style for the homeless?
affordable, with the word affordable.
Or affordable, yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
But then we put a business into it that the folks who live in this place actually work at that business that's in that place.
Unfortunately, there's nobody paying enough attention to this.
Just like back in World War I, World War II, like, our First Nations people, like, we never got that recognition. The problems that we go through, and like the psychological problems that you go through when you're in there. You're nothing when you're in there at first, like everybody else, you're nothing, but then you start working your way up. But with our First Nations people, like, we don't get the recognition we need when we get out. You see all these white people, they get all the fanfare and everything, people congratulating them, meeting them and all this. Our First Nations people, not a thing. Yeah, look at Tommy Prince, for instance, when he got out. He never really got the recognition that he needed, even though he put his life on the line for a lot of Canadian soldiers. And what did he do? They gave him a bone and let him raise the flag and lower it. Just like Ira Hayes in the States. But like, things have got to change for our First Nations people. We should get better recognition and get the same rights as the non-Aboriginals, as these white people get. They get health benefits. They get all the help that they need. They get the recognition that they need, except for our First Nations people. Why? That's what I want to ask the white community. That why don't we get that recognition? You look at it as savages all the time, and that we don't know what we're talking about. That we're uneducated. Me, I'm educated. I've been educated for a long time, but people just look at me as an Indian, and I like to be looked at as a human being, not an Indian. Because our people, we look at everybody as human beings. We all bleed the same. Nobody bleeds any different color.